Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today, and we got ourselves one hell of an Xbox update this week. We have Discord maybe getting involved, Xbox Live seeing some pretty surprising changes. I have a foot cramp right now, good lord. And on top of that, as I writhe in pain, we also have Game Pass editions that we really got to, God almighty.
One eternity later.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, it has been actually years since I've had a foot cramp. Okay, so I did have some wisdom that I wanted to share at the beginning of this video. Despite all of that, I heard a quote this week that's really resonated with me, and I thought maybe some of you needed to hear it to get an extra push this week. For me, it was work for a cause, not the applause. And as someone who has a platform, it's very easy to get wrapped up in all of this, and it was something I felt I needed to hear, and it helped me out tremendously and kind of helped me recenter, refocus. So it helped me. Hopefully it'll help you. But anyway, let's talk Xbox, all right? If you're new here, you like Xbox, you like me a little bit, foot cramps and wisdom aside, then do consider subscribing if you find the content worthwhile. But anyway, let's start off with the big one, the one that I think a lot of you are here for, which is Game Pass. Continues to be the best value in gaming, and we're seeing a rumor float around of a pretty big addition. Now, what's actually interesting, Defining Duke, fun fact here, episode 1 was based on this very topic. It started back in December. We took that information and carried it into our first episode. That report came straight from Jez Corden of Windows Central Gaming, where he says, I've seen rumors about Ubisoft Uplay Plus joining Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I think this has a strong chance of being true based on stuff I've heard. Now, since then, we've seen the reports carry into Jeff Grubb, star of my channel, Jeff Grubb, who provides us with just so much information, so appreciate you, Jeff. Anyway, now we have a report coming from GamingBolt.com, which takes some of the quotes from Jeff. We're going to talk about it a little bit here, and to discuss the idea of Uplay Plus being wrapped up into Xbox Game Pass, kind of like what we saw with EA Play. VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb spoke on the GamesBeat Decides podcast recently about some moves behind the scenes from Microsoft. He said they've been working with Ubisoft to get some kind of deal to bring Ubisoft Plus to the service in some form. He said he was unsure of how this would happen or even where the negotiations were, but just that, Microsoft is trying to get the publisher on board. Quote, I think it's Ubisoft Plus. Yes, I think that's part. I'm not for sure, but that's my understanding, is that they're trying to make that happen. What that looks like, if they're adding another $5 thing into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, or if there's going to be tiers to get all of these involved, I honestly don't know. That's just me speculating. Emphasis on that, because sometimes people will take Jeff's reporting and twist it when he's speculating. But I do think they are trying to figure out a way to bring Ubisoft Plus in. I think that'd be a pretty big deal, end quote. Now, here's the kicker with Uplay Plus coming into Xbox Game Pass. This would be major because Uplay Plus is actually a service from Ubisoft where day one you get all of their games if you're a subscriber. But the change here is compared to EA Play, which is $5 a month, Uplay Plus is $15. So rolling that into Game Pass as seamlessly as something like EA Play and maybe eating that cost would be a little more difficult, I think, to manage. But the trade-off is if Uplay Plus joins Game Pass is that you would be getting all Ubisoft games day one, which would be really bonkers to see on top of the third-party day one games. I mean, it would inflate Game Pass to this untouchable area where even if a competitor rose up, that's hard to stack up against. Now, I don't want to over-glorify Ubisoft's games. For me, they are almost a guilty pleasure nowadays. I thought last year Watch Dogs Legion and Valhalla were some of the most enjoyable open worlds to explore. I really liked playing those games. I thought Watch Dogs Legion was short and sweet. It wasn't bloated like a lot of Ubisoft games were. And I really enjoyed my time with Valhalla. It was one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games, which I've learned is not a great take to have, but I don't care. It's my opinion. So anyway, point being is I'm excited about this. I think adding those in, Far Cry, I would love to see Ubisoft kind of go back to when they were experimenting a lot, doing stuff like Rayman Legends, doing stuff like, of course, Child of Light. I also think of Valiant Hearts. there was this era of Ubisoft in the early 2010s where they were trying these ideas, really in the 2013-14 days, and they're not doing that as much and just kind of hitting on these big open world titles. And while I've enjoyed them, I would love to see more of that. And if Game Pass can maybe help enable something like that, because they know they're releasing to a guaranteed audience baked in of 18 million users, I mean, yeah, that would be 100% incredible. The other thing is that Ubisoft Plus includes 100 plus games on PC. So this is something that would mean, of course, the integration of the Windows Store. How would that work? We're seeing changes with versions of games on the Windows Store as well. The Evil Within is different from the Steam version, as is Nier Automata. Nier Automata is in the process of being review bombed because the Steam version is awful, whereas the Windows Store version that you can get through Game Pass works pretty well. There's no crashing, stuttering. It is the fixed version. And so some people are upset about that. The Evil Within on PC has first person. And so EA Play had an issue with PC integration because there was something with Origin and Microsoft lining up that was not working, and it took extra months to get that happening. They had to load all the games on the Windows Store. So with Uplay, I mean, there is even more games that they'd have to account for. So we'll see in due time how they handle it. This would be a major deal in the making, and once again, would boost up Game Pass big time. The question is, how much can get rolled in before we say, all right, it's time for a price hike? Is Xbox Game Pass going to start introducing more tiers? So I saw the idea online. I wish I remembered who it was. I apologize. But someone suggested I would pay, I think it was Benji. He suggested that what if there was a tier for Game Pass that included all DLC for first-party games? So every update, every microtransaction, like skins, all that stuff. Let's say you paid 20 bucks a month. You got all of that from Game Pass, we'll say God tier. And then there was another tier which rolled in, of course, Ubisoft. Does that become too much? Because we already have 3 tiers of Game Pass, which is just PC, console, standard, and then you have Ultimate, which is wrapping all of it, plus Gold, plus so much more EA Plays in there. So, I mean, I would be really staggered if we saw Uplay Plus get added, and they're just like, hey, it's the same price, and nothing's changing. I mean, Microsoft certainly has the money, but at a certain point in time, I'm expecting that $1, $2 raise, because as the user base continues to grow, saying, hey, we want $2 more, and they have 20 million users, that's $40 million per month more. And I mean, maybe that can help you negotiate some deals. That's just raw revenue, of course. But point being is, Ubisoft's Uplay Plus, I think, would be a huge addition. I would love to load up Game Pass and just have Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, 3 being one of my favorites. I love Unity too. I mean, I got some bad Assassin's Creed takes, I think, but when I played Unity, that game, I fell through the map like once, but outside of that, I mean, the murder mysteries, the parkour, the co-op, I mean, that was one of the titles that you can go back to now because it runs and works a lot better. Go back and try it again. You'll be kind of disappointed with how Ubisoft handled the AC franchise since then, because I don't think it's been as ambitious, even with how much I enjoyed Valhalla. But opinions aside, Uplay Plus looks to be heading to Game Pass. This has been a rumor for about a quarter of a year now, and I think depending on when Xbox wants to announce this, it could be huge. So let's say you've got, in a dream scenario, by the way, Starfield's this fall. You got Halo Infinite this fall, okay? And then Ubisoft always has big fall games. Being able to say, hey, we're going to have Uplay Plus in Game Pass, so you're also going to be getting day one, if you want, these Ubisoft games, if you're a Game Pass subscriber. It just makes Xbox a way better place to play. And I think if they said, like, we're bumping up the price, you just have so many things to pick from with Game Pass. It would almost feel like you're stealing from them, but I don't want to get too carried away. I'm just putting the scenario out there of what this can become and what a big fall and really major windows of game releases can look like for Game Pass subscribers. So just keep all of that in mind, but that's generally the major discussion for Uplay Plus. I will continue to cover it, see how it develops, bring more to the table for all of you folks. Now let's talk Discord. So Discord has made its way into the news because they are looking to sell. What's actually kind of funny is I heard murmuring of this early last year, towards the beginning of 2020, and I thought to myself, no way. Like, when I heard it, I was like, this is going to amount to nothing, I feel. Just because I personally believe Discord's just rolling right now. I think they got a good system going. I think they're fun. I think they're welcoming. And they have a probably one of the most beneficial services to enter gaming. And it would be better if I feel they went public and were able to just be on consoles and continue to grow that service. Because they're doing something that pretty much no one else is on a consumer level. I mean, it's user friendly. It's awesome. I use Discord literally every day of my life, based off the patron server, as well as just my own personal use with my friends. It's a good way for crossplay to be engaged with. And so Microsoft seems to be looking into it a little bit. Bloomberg writes, Microsoft in talks to buy Discord for more than $10 billion. So Microsoft just swinging the cash around, swinging the big money bag around, going, yep, what do we buy? Right over here. Hold it that way. Boom. Okay, Discord. That's what it landed on. The article continues on saying, Microsoft is in talks to acquire Discord, a video game chat community, for more than $10 billion, according to people familiar with the matter. Discord has been talking to potential buyers, and software giant Microsoft is in the running, but no deal is imminent, said the people, who asked not to be identified because the discussions are private. Discord is more likely to go public than sell itself, one person said. Representatives from Microsoft and Discord declined to comment. VentureBeat reported earlier on Monday that Discord was engaged in sales talks. Discord has also held discussions with Epic Games, that would piss people off, and Amazon, which would piss even more people off, in the past, according to two people familiar with the matter. Epic did not respond immediately for requests to comment, and Amazon declined to comment. All right, so two things that immediately come to mind for this is people going, oh God, Skype, it's on fire. Oh my God, no, Discord is dead. We can't let them do this. And then the other mindset is, yo, Xbox Discord app? Okay. Yeah. So let's tackle Skype first. Skype, I remember that being super instrumental for what we used to call dual commentaries. Myself and another creator back in like the early 2010s would hop on the Skype calls, and we'd record our Skype call and do a commentary together over some Call of Duty gameplay. Such innocent times. Now I sit in front of a Mega Man statue and I yell about Xbox stuff. It's crazy how times change. But anyway, here are some stats about Skype. So when they were acquired, they said that they had 170 million connected users. Since then, updates on their user base have been scarce. So the last update we really did get was back when the pandemic began. They said Skype did get a boost from the virus. In March, Microsoft said that Skype had 40 million daily active users, up to 70% from the previous month. But even at Microsoft, it's not the star. In April, the company said that Teams has amassed 75 million daily active users. So, like we've really seen over time, Skype has continued to get swamped by other services. But what I wanted to kind of point out here is that Skype is still relevant, Skype is still popular, and Skype is still used, just Skype failed to evolve. A little bit more numbers here. In a 2019 blog post, a Microsoft engineer wrote that Skype had reached 4 billion total users, more than 300 million monthly active users, and more than 40 million concurrent users. So once again, I see this thing going around about Skype being dead, not being used, and I just think that it failed to evolve. And just kind of like when Microsoft absorbs anything, like if they were to absorb, Discord would still act independently like we see Bethesda is, and like I imagine Skype was. I don't think you have Satya Nadella like banging down the door being like, hey, what's going on with the next Skype update? It's on the Skype team to evolve the service. So Skype failed to do that. It is still relevant. It is still used quite a bit, but Microsoft did their own thing, which was smart, and they introduced Teams. And I think having Discord, for example, and having that come like pre-installed on computers, that's another smart step forward towards community stuff and making sure that you have baked in apps that connect you to others. I think that type of stuff makes a lot of sense for them. But point being is a lot of people are going, oh my God, we can't let them get the Discord company because now they will kill that and completely ruin it like they did with Skype. And I just feel like Skype failed to evolve. Like Discord's at the top of its game. So obviously it does fall on Microsoft, I think, to try to encourage the evolving. But I know I don't have a popular stance on Skype. People will just tell me to shut up. But I just felt like that data should be shown because while it has been trumped by other services out there, it is still very popular and used by a lot of people. So while Microsoft, I think, could have helped make it even more popular, it's not failing by any means. With that in mind, though, let's talk about the Xbox app, which I think is what more people are interested in. Yeah, this one I don't need to over-explain, so I won't stick on it too much longer. Cross-play, cross-communication, it's so needed. I have friends who are on PlayStation. I have friends who are on Xbox, on PC. I just feel like all consoles should have a Discord app. I get that they do this party chat thing, like PlayStation 5's game-based thing that they did. Awful. I don't even use Xbox party chat. I literally fire up my computer, fire up a console, and then I go on Discord on my computer. I would love it if I could have a Discord app on, of course, my console. Because number one, I'm using a lot more electricity than I need to. But number two is sometimes I have to pull off an earphone so I can hear my TV at the same time as hear my friends. It's just one of those things where a Discord app has been so long overdue. So the writing is on the wall here, very clear. But if Xbox were to get this, that would be huge, because that would allow for cross communication where you can be on console and someone can be on PC and you could hop into a server and talk to one another. And that would be fantastic. The last change comes to the Xbox Live, or no, Xbox Network. Okay. All right. So some screenshots came out for beta testers of Xbox, and we saw that they had changed the labeling, upload to the Xbox Network, or the dashboard itself where you can manage captures. It would say on the Xbox Network. So, of course, The Verge had reached out and said, hey, what's going on with this? And this is what they got back. Quote, Xbox Network refers to the underlying Xbox Online service, which was updated in the Microsoft Services Agreement, end quote, says a Microsoft spokesperson in a statement to The Verge. Quote, the update from Xbox Live to Xbox Network is intended to distinguish the underlying service from Xbox Live Gold memberships. Hints at a name change originally appeared back in August after Microsoft updated its service agreements. At the time, Microsoft said it wasn't rebranding the service, which was a lie, and had no plans to discontinue the Xbox Live Gold. Instead, Microsoft went on to announce a price hike for Xbox Live Gold that the company was forced to quickly reverse. I thought that was a good thing to include there, because it's very strange how they said one thing and did a completely opposite thing. I feel like the name change is not a change for the sake of it. It's been Xbox Live for 18 years. So when they decide to go with Xbox Network, I feel like something is going to happen with Gold, right? I feel like they're looking for a way to reformat things. And I feel like them bumping up the Gold price, or attempting to, was to make sure that Game Pass could stay at its price point. And when there was so much kickback on that, I think eventually as Game Pass grows in its base, I think they want to eventually just cut out Gold over time. A lot of people don't realize there are still tens of millions of Xbox Live Gold subscribers. And if that's even $5 a month, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars off of that. So they're not going to go, it's irrelevant, get rid of it. They're going to try to keep it because it's going to be a major revenue generator for Xbox as a brand. So with that in mind, I think that they're moving around the chessboard, playing their pieces carefully, and it's really hard for me to speculate what they're going to do, but I think they're trying to do something where it's all within Game Pass, right? It's not like you have Xbox Live and Gold and Game Pass, because what we've seen continuously is that Xbox Live games with Gold continues to butt heads with Game Pass. And I feel like as Game Pass becomes a service that you see on other platforms outside of Xbox, like I've said, Smart TV app, Xbox Network would make a little bit more sense in that regard. But really hard to speculate on that because there is just so much that can change. So I will leave it at that. But anyway, big Xbox update today in this video. Just a lot to go over. And so I hope that you enjoyed. I'm looking forward to seeing your thoughts on the likes of Discord, Ubisoft, and Xbox Network. That's going to take some time to get used to. In the comments down below, do fire away. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. Big thank you to all the patrons, all the members who continue to support the hell out of the content here. Appreciate all of you. It's once again been a blast doing these types of videos, and I'll talk with you very soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.